and welcome to a painting stream. We've done all the crafting. We've done all the crafting. That's the good piece about it. But now we also need to do the actual painting. So we've done some of it already. So let's just basically move that up here. Sorry, I've basically moved one of those cameras around. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, let's have a look. That's what one. So I'll just do a bit more adjustment on one of these. Okay, very nice. What we've done is we've painted these white here. Right. Now this is foam clay onto some triangle rod that's been cut and burnt. So we basically infilled the black. Now we've actually got to do the rest of it. And we've got some of the design on the top of the head. Now I'm just going to swing this around. I might have to put this down a little bit lower off on the floor, to be honest. A little bit sort of down on it. So now at the back we've got this sort of long braids. They've got to be silver as well. This has got to be gunmetal. So we cut. This is all colour. This is all going to be all colour coordinated, so to speak. Okay, so let's crack on. Now we've got the camera set up here. So what we're using is gunmetal, silver. I might have to go and get. I'm a bit lower than silver, but I've got some bright silver. And also, you might need some whites, but we don't have yet. Right, so gloves on. We've got our brushes already. So I'm just going to put that into that position so you can actually see. There we are. What we trying to achieve. Done. Let's just go back to, sorry, the mouse. Right. Let's go into the trick home. Channel. There we are. Right, ready to go. So, surgical gloves on. And I'm hoping I've got. So we're going to do the. We've got quite a bit of. We've got quite a bit of gunmetal to plaster on. Right. I'm a bit worried about it. I have to actually do a stock take and actually see if I need to actually replenish because you know these flexi paint do actually they do actually last a long time. So I'm going to put this camera here. This is the only one that's basically not movable with a gimbal. I'm just going to take this across here and then swing this around here like so. There you go. Up a bit. Go. There we are. Perfect. Now we're going to get. Now we're not going to. Not going to paint in the inlays because they're going to stay black. So we're going to basically put a dusting of gunmetal on this because it looks grey, but it's not. And then some silver on here. Now I don't particularly want to be handling this with the when it's wet, so that's why I've got it on the mannequin head wig stand. So we'll have to get a smaller brush as well. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things that actually crafted, to be honest. It's been a while. I'm trying not to, I don't particularly want to be in shot too much because you want to see what the hell's going on, don't you? Let's put the brushes in for soak, so I just got to, and that's why I got the brush on, so I don't leave sticky messes everywhere. It's no point in me actually painting the last surface area with a very small brush. I'll be there for ages. That's going to really smooth this down. Any small details, particularly around these edges, I'll fill in with a small brush. I might have to basically put some decorator's tape on it to so I don't sort of overpaint it. See, some of these are quite sort of flimsy and it will look crap. It was basically chunk. It was a complete mess. I'm going to get a medium-sized brush again. Okay, well, yep, that'll do. We'll soften those. Let's just basically put this in. So that one goes in there because that's got the brush cleaner in it. If you don't wash your brushes too much with this flexi paint dries, it literally basically clogs it. You've got a real cleaning up job to do. You know what I mean? So now I'm just glad I've actually finished this crafting piece of this. As it took me ages to actually fathom out how the hell to do this, to be honest. Now we're using like a sort of a very small paint roller to actually to mix the paint in, so we're not, we haven't got like a sort of I've used plastic plates, I've used bits of old wood to actually do that. I've even sort of gone around and actually invested in some plastic palette paint mixers that you get from the art shop. I spend most of the time cleaning up all like dried paint off them, you know, soaking them in washing up liquid and in a bucket and actually soaking them away and actually softening them and then basically scraping them up with a paint stripper. Whereas these paint trays, you can actually leave them to dry off and then just get a knife underneath one corner and actually peel them off and chuck them. And then they're fresh, they're sort of like fresh and clean for like the next painting method. And I might have to trim that bit off of the foam there, off the webbing. Right, this is webbing. We've done a lot of hot glue work on here to actually make this work. To hold this on, because my friend Sophia is not wearing a wig, we've got an elastic strap we've made and actually basically velcros to like the front of the headpiece so it secures him. We will think of another way if this doesn't work when she wants to be confident to wear it. Now this is the last item to do on this thing. The other thing is just tidying up, which you can actually do at another time. And I really must go and get my chromatus stuff done. My chromatus cosplay done. Because that's just needs one thing to do, and that's to prop and actually literally do a test fit and get a photo shoot done, which I've been waiting to do. I've got a photo shoot lined up. You know, I'm not just slapping this paint on, making sure I don't overload the brush and actually let it drip everywhere. Because we have to, each individual segment, which is like sort of coals, will have to actually be detailed a little bit more. So literally going to make it draw the eye. I want to create a wow factor for this. That is, and of course, it's a nice sunny today here in London, and it's sort of dry. So, like the paint is not going to basically take ages to. There's one time I've been so busy, like the weekends, that this, the craft room uh, wasn't, absent away for about nearly what 2 weeks, 2 weekends, and the place was so chilly. And what I do is because when it heavy rains, I'm worried about sort of like condensation, and I've got to dehumidify uh, going to actually take the water out of the air, so it does basically like cause dampness problems. And of course, if I work in here during the winter, I open up, say about just after breakfast, right? On a Saturday, go down to the shops and actually put the oh shit. Sorry, that's basically an accident waiting to happen. Oh, thank fuck for that. It's that nearly wet flying. Whoops, 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 whoops. Accident. And then what happened was, I put the digital heater on, come back after the shop, put everything away, go and get myself a coffee, decided to do some work down here, and this place is absolutely cosy as anything, is warm. and it warms up very quickly. Now this camera here is usually like my sandproof camera because we're not doing any sort of gremlins, so decided to utilise it to actually have another sort of third camera in with the mix when I'm painting, so you can get almost like three different sides really. We'll have to. Oh shit! That's basically didn't. That didn't want to work. That's gripping. That's dribbling everywhere, man. We'll make sure there's no sort of lumps on this. Okay, what's that? Some of this we'll have to actually mask up and actually do once it's dry, so we don't get like a sort of sticky mess. Is once we drop this is all dry and actually got all the like the paint on it, we can actually put some sealer on it. It's all nice and glossy. Now what we've got is we've got my secondary little monitor on a stand, looking face at me at the crafting table, so I can actually see look what's going on. Hope you're having a good Saturday, folks. This is the, you know, to think 5 years ago I was like streaming 7 days a week. It's a lockdown. Those days are now gone, unfortunately, unless you count for holidays. No, just going to move this across to here so you can see it just a fraction. I might have to sit down for a little while. Up, roll down, there we go. I'll be putting this in Flexi Paint White, not too much. One, it basically primes it, even though it has been going over with a hot air gun to seal the pores up. And two, we want this is going to be silver, so we want it to really stand out to, you know, draw the eye, I could say, I can, you know, put it really. Got to make sure I'm actually not tripping in any cables here. Let's just go and get our brushes. And I'm going to sit them in these cameras now so you can actually see almost see what I'm doing. And we've got these little sort of triangles with sort of a load of like carvings out of them using a wood burning tool. So we're just going to highlight paint this over in fillet as we call it. Thank goodness I've got like tons of brushes here, so I'm not going to run out. I'm not sort of leaving myself short. I mean, these brushes are completely rotten, or you know, sometimes I make a mistake. I actually leave them to soak in water for a long time. They started going. They start basically the wood started going brittle, and I have to chuck them out. Now I'm just going to leave that to take that excess bit of paint off there. Just go on here because I've got a lot of detailing to do on this. And I don't think it will be finished. I'm a bit I'm sort of being a bit lazy. I was supposed to like go online, go live about 2 o'clock this afternoon, but it basically got sort of waylaid. I must apologise, folks. What we need to do as well is going to go and push my ring light up because I'm not getting much light, particularly at the bottom here. It's just waiting for that's down there. And go and get an extension lead, a USB extension lead, and plumb it into the socket if I can find one. Here we are. And that's not going to go straight to the it's not going straight to the laptop. That's the thing about laptops, the population of USB cables is sometimes can be a bit daunting. I had to shop around online for a new laptop, or gave it to my content creator friend, my old one, and actually found one. And this one has actually got two type C's. There we are. So let's just put that onto that. There we are. That's so I can actually see underneath certain parts of this where I've actually missed because it's not, there's like a dark zone here to be honest. Got my microphone over here so you can actually hear me. I'm going to sort of start putting any other paint on any other surfaces, particularly like these particularly like these babies here. Straps, they've got these like designs on them. I'll leave those till last until the rest of this dries off. Because we've got the top of we've got the top of this the head here as well. We've got the sides around the dragon's horn to do. We also got like I'm going to do like the piece at the front last because that can actually give this time to dry off. And of course it does dry pretty quickly for flexi paint. If I can shine in straight away, it's shining straight to the camera bollocks. I might have to move that camera, that Osbot over to here a little bit. So it's not basically got like the light shining on it. I'll sort that out later. Probably camera angles properly arranged. This is like taking coals to Newcastle with Guardians because this did my first deathwing back in 2020, and it was like, virtually same old for painting, gunmetal, silver, black, white, Sharpie pen, you name it. It literally had the whole lot. Now we are going to put some sort of, so weathering, detailing on them, particularly like with silver to actually blend it in, and like blend it in blend it in with water, and then just rub it off, and then just basically have a nice little, shine on it, so to speak. It's just going to double check. So that's like for washing the brushes. That was for the diluting. I've got to keep this flexi paint wet, and it's basically going dry because like the brush just completely drags across it. And you've got like these things say, "Come on, you sod." I swear by this stuff, definitely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move that uh, camera a little bit onto that corner, so it's not having it showing in the ring light. I've got plenty of cable on it. Let's move that across to here. Let's move that to that corner, so we literally got sort of almost like angles at every corner. Okay, does that work? Yeah, it does a bit. Because this one's on a boom, I can actually move that across to here in front of me. There we go. Make sure that's basically there we are. So a little bit there. just do this top. Let's just do this top up here, which is this bit we're doing now on the bases of the horns. And I can actually work onto the and go around here. This is the most joyous piece of like any crafting I like is actually like the painting. Any sort of large surface areas in future, I would actually use my spray gun. I might even have to actually run a cable outside, run about sort of 3 USB extended cables outside to the back to like the back, because I've got like a special table, which is a foldable table. They use it for like bodywork repairs for cars to actually lay like the pieces I want to spray. Then we have to basically do a little unboxed spray gun, so to speak. I guess I'm left-handed. Yeah, this camera here is actually on a table boom stand, which is actually bolted to like the bench. And my old benches, they didn't have a sort of a lip to actually clamp anything. About as used as a chocolate fire guard, so that's why I basically bought 2 new ones and sold the other ones to a hotelier in Basingstoke. He came, I couldn't believe it. I sold 2 of them, and the guy came and collected them. You know, he actually drove up. He actually hired a van to, and drove up, pick them up. He actually gave me the money there and then. I basically sold them on Facebook Market, and actually literally posted a few uh, feelers out to some cosplayers who, you know, look if they need any tables. I was actually going to either donate them. They're in good nick. They're like solid. They're solid wood, so there wasn't sort of like MDF or anything like that. And he took them off my hands, and he actually used them for his like putting flowers and table ornaments, sort of flowers or whatever like for weddings for his function hall in his hotel. So literally, he said, "Where do I get any? Where can I get that?" He goes, "Well," and I said, "Well, Amazon don't sell them anymore. They're unavailable. Discontinued them." And because these tables I've got now, I can actually move them around and put them in different positions. So I can have them like central if I'm doing like a large piece that needs to be crafted, that needs to be laid out, like this. Like this sort of thing. So it's they're sort of got wheels on, got wheels on them, and of course they've got like the added bonus of like a built-in USB, built-in power bank with 2 USB sockets. So I don't need to basically trail cables everywhere from the sockets for power tools, particularly like hot glue guns or my or my soldering iron or wood burning tool. Just as long as I got one free for the laptop and all the the laptop and the USB hub I've got. Yeah, these before these were glued on, these are actually like blasted over with a hot air gun. So they've got a very nice smooth finish. Trouble is, I made the mistake of actually leaving this This one basically was exposed to the elements for a while. It had all dirt all over. I had to clean it off. Had all mud all over it for some reason. So I'm going to and fro from the small brush to the big brush. You know, depending on the area it needs to be done. I must make sure I basically don't put any paint on the canvas. So I must make sure that falls. It's the thing about these falls, they're bloody always in the way. Let's have a look. So this here is going to be painted underneath here and then basically cuts off the silver. Let's keep that silver. All this has to be gunmetal up here behind the spikes. Now when I first did this crown, the first Mark 1, this was an absolute nightmare because it was too bloody heavy. It was made out of epoxy sculpt and that basically took ages to dry. If you don't use epoxy sculpt, once you open it and you don't use it, it actually goes off and it actually literally basically like a waste of time. You just better chuck it out, which is a pain. And it's good stuff, great for moulding stuff like that, but using foam clay is a little bit lighter, so literally it's more easier, more not heavy, because these things when they're like made out of these things were made out of epoxy sculpt. They're absolutely heavy as hell. And I tried it on, and my next door neighbour tried it on. I did a dress up. And of course her husband's sort of like saying, oh, you know, you've got to be paid for it. I go, no, we do it as a favour. And also I've actually got the COVID mask, the actual face guard to actually also paint. I just realised I've got to do that as well. Silly man, that's smaller. It's a smaller item. Just wish there was a way you could actually have a wireless camera and actually basically speaks to your laptop and actually literally you can actually move around with it and have to basically like trail a load of wires and accidentally knocking them out. Because if you knock the wires out, if you knock the cables out of the laptop, you know, connected to either Streamlabs or Osbot's, sorry, OBS 64, then you've got a problem. Your cameras just freeze up and then suddenly go offline. The next minute you're going to have to basically like deactivate, reactivate, put the cables back in, and I hope they should come back up. I've had that problem before. I've gone through, I've gone through so many cameras ever since I've done this. Only, you know, over the space of 5 years, right? And now I'm actually happy, you know, with these Osbot cameras. As much as I'd like to be sponsored by them, that'd be nice. But I'm not in any hurry to go and get Twitch affiliation. It would be nice to actually basically be honoured to do it. I've been Twitch streaming for a long, long time. And also I've got to try and think of a way of actually getting my overlay sort of sorted out by somebody. which I've already had inquiries for someone online, which will basically be interested. I've got to see how much it will cost. And when I spoke to the young lady, who actually came on my channel, she could actually make my favourite character, you know, into an anime GIF, an anime sort of design. I can actually use that, and also my sort of like Forsaken banner. I'm just going to move this ring light over a little bit here, but it's not. Hopefully, it is. Oh God, it's actually shining that camera going down. I wanted to be out of shot. Never mind. Just want to make sure you can't. Even though the lights are bright in the craft room, they're not showing because like because like this is like painting on black foam because it's originally black, but we actually basically put a covering of black flexi paint on it, so we don't get a very nice sort of a base foundation in which like put like a top coat on. I'm not going to I'm not going to move that around here. Let's move that down a bit to actually see. Damn it, bloody camera, ring lights are in the way. Shit. Don't look good. I think that's right. Okay. Well, I'm looking at the laptop, so. So let's just put that bit there. And there, like so. Now let's start this piece on this side of the dragon's horn. I think I'll make my life a little bit easier and actually paint the lighting again. Perfect. Great, that's not in shot, that's what I want. So we don't need to worry about the dragon's horns sort of detailing because that's all been done. Much I like to put music, tries I probably don't know how to get like my video, my screen bloody killed off, you know, unpublishable because of like copyright. So I need to put another layer on it, I have to, because you can see the shine on it. So, whoops, don't want to make that spill any water anywhere. Because when I had to cut these off the original mounting strips, that took ages and it was a bit of a mess. It was sort of untidy, so I literally had to not sort of sweep it under the carpet, and yes, I would admit to my sort of like messy ways, but tidy it up. That's the word I was basically wanted to emphasise. Just want to make sure this is not going to basically hit any water, beakers of water, when I come to actually turn this cake stand as such around. Otherwise I've got like a, oh, okay, it's only water, but it's paint, water painting it. It's actually making a real pain in the arse to clear up. trying to get my camera angle right for you guys. Move this back onto this table here, so a little bit more room. Okay, so now this can actually be repainted because it's a little bit grotty, right? Once this is all dry, I'll actually basically put it under the tap to actually get rid of any dust. Sometimes these pieces just sit here on the shelf, you know, and they're like, I'll have to clean them up before working on them, so they look, you know, grotty. To my control console. So let's see if I can try to move that gimbal, chalk that down a bit. Only 8 days left to pre-order Ozbot Tau 2. Oh god, that's making quite a bit of money. That is at Tau 2. I just need to get this up just above that crown. Up, up, up. Gosh, the gimbal's so slow on this one. I better double check I've actually downloaded the firmware. So that's actually maximum. That is actually a maximum zoom on there. Now what I can do now is with this one, let's just go and lower it. Let's go literally this up in the air. I'm going to put this up in the air. Since it's got quite a powerful zoom, this power there. I'm sorry about this. I might have to basically hop across here. There we go. Okay. And then just lower that down. Bingo. Obviously, it's got quite a big footprint, this tripod. Okay, let's go into Ozbot 1. So, the second one, so let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we are. Perfect. There we are. You can see it a bit more now. I know I'm doing all these different camera angles. I hope you guys don't mind. So you've got this one, it's on actually full zoom. I'm not even attempting to actually handle this with my hands to hold it to paint because I don't want to leave all fingerprints all over like paint. I've just basically applied. Let's go to lid. Move that across to there. Flip you back to here. Here we are. So this is the concept. So this is sort of the SP. So you've got like the actual picture from Zach Fisher. Then you've got the actual item actually made. Yep. She finished the crafting on I think it was Monday night. I just wanted to like leave it to settle before I start attacking it with flexi paint. And then on the Tuesday, I put some white flexi paint all over like the spiky bits at the crown. This is like literally the love of life. This is like a sort of a. This is like one of the ones that I really enjoy. This one of my Deathwing, which means I'm going to do some remakes for my Deathwing because they were too heavy and started basically giving me backache and shoulder ache after wearing them. I've had their innings, so about time they basically get replaced with some lighter ones. Of course, providing I've actually got plenty of EVA foam. Now I might be able to tilt this just a fraction down and actually work on it a little bit better here. So we're nearly at the end of this. And once that's dry, once this is to allow it to dry, I can actually work onto the silver. And also these bits as well, because I've got some underneath the bottom actually do at a later date. demo flat brush. So the other thing I've got to finish off. Oh no, that's broken. Damn, is that broken? Oh my god. Shit. Hold on, it's not. Okay, well I've just basically this is the face guard. We've just got a little bit more uh, painting to do at the bottom there, and then that's finished. And it's got a little bit of a Velcro. Do you mind? I've got hot glue that on. That because that's a Velcro sort of like bit of padding there, and it works. I've used it. I've used it for my one, and it's a lot easier to actually try and strap it around if you're wearing, trying to strap it around if you're wearing a wig and have to take it off and actually have to take off the whole wig if you want to go and get something to eat at a Comic Con. I could actually do this all day, non-stop, and actually literally I've got like the massive big backlog of painting ever, you know, I could actually literally knock stuff, pieces out like this a whole bloody week, you know, and like realise, oh dear, what have I done? I've actually got like a humongous painting backlog to do uh, for one cosplay project. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing I do. Create like a huge backlog before I have to basically like all crafting has to be done and basically for like catch up with the painting. So what I usually do is actually paint every piece. Uh, you know, paint every piece. Like for example, if I do, you know, if I do a big project, like the, you know, another mega project, you know, after Chrome Masters, wait and see, guys, because I've got some plans for that. It's all in the pipeline. It's all thought up in the brain. It's got to be put onto put onto put put to a pencil, to a drawing pad and pencil. Mm. So what I do is my plan is, you know, whoever, however you want to work this, is if you're doing a project, I say the thing to get out the way first. You know, this is what my reckoning is. It's up to you, whoever, whatever you think. You know, I'm not here to judge, guys. That you do like the biggest, you know, the biggest part of the piece first. For example, I've got a thing to do from head to toe. So, for example, if there's a helm to do, that's the first piece to do. Then you do the breastplate. And once you do the breastplate, you've got all the pieces to do, the small pieces to actually knock out. You know, like your pairs, like your gloves, your braces, your, you know, so like three main pieces of your helm, depending if it's plate armor you're making. Three main pieces: a helm, pauldrons, and breastplate. So, you know, that's how I do it, you know. So once those pieces are actually literally finished crafted, I can then start painting them, and they're out the way. You know, and then once there's all the paintings done on the project, I then go to each piece and actually put like 2 coats of sealer, gloss sealer on it, so it actually basically stops the paint being, you know, tacky when you touch it, you know, particularly flexi paint. And then the last piece of the puzzle is actually doing a test fit, right? The mounting pieces. You know, this stuff is not going to sit on your shoulders like by like magic, is it? So you've got to think of a way, how do I do this? What have I got to do? But once you've done, you've got your anchor points, you've got your straps, you've got the perfect way of actually making sure those polders are going to stay on your shoulders, not fall off. So you have to actually, hang on, what the hell's going on with Twitch? Why is it bloody doing, oh, great. Sorry, there's something about hearing. Sorry, what the hell's going on? See if I can actually refresh this. Let's reload this page and see what's going on. Right, okay, so I've actually changed the streaming label, right, to Lady Deathwing. It's actually saying on the bottom that I basically literally got the same sort of title of the stream I did yesterday with Tom Clancy's The Division. I'm going to go back on there tonight after my dinner. I'm going to get rid of that Liberty Island. That was okay, but things like the boss, don't forget it's story level. It's not sort of challenging because like he's pulsed your skills, so you can't use your healing, you can't use your seeker mind or whatever uh, skill you got. If you do it with a whole team, then you've got a chance of actually killing because he's actually shooting at you like seeker mines, firefly blinding fireflies, sniper turrets, artillery turrets. But that's another time. That's tonight. Decide what I have to do tonight as well. Where I live, I've actually got a very nice fish and chip shop. You know, got one of the best, like, you know, been in sort of like the been sort of like reviewed heavily, I think, on Trustpilot and Google or whatever sort of like site you want to review a shop, right? And I'll tell you what, it's very nice fish and chips. Cod fillet and chips for about under what 12, 15 quid, I think. Yeah, I'm making you hungry, guys. These PTZ cameras are good, but they need a bit extra power supply and basically like they're quite heavy. You need a really good, really decent tripod to use them. They're good, uh, but if you've got the money for them, they are quite expensive. Nearly what 800 quid, and they are 4K and actually literally do anything. I did get loan a PTZ camera many years ago with a remote control. but it needed an extra power supply on top of it because the Osbot ones I got at the moment are actually powered by the USB socket in the laptop, so that's a good thing. Right. Now I've just got to turn this 360 degrees, see if I've missed anything. I have to go underneath. Have to go underneath this dragon's horn because there's a plate there. Because when I first started this, I had to actually do like a complete, complete sort of mounting points in all this to work. You see. Right, so there's a bit I want to get rid of. So there's a nasty sort of like blob that's basically come up on this hole on this little uh, hole here. So I might have to, I'll leave that to dry. If that's basically not going to be invisible, I'm going to have to go and get a fine sandpaper and actually sand that back. Now that is drying off, that's cool. That's what I like to see, drying off. It's got a very nice gunmetal colour to it, which I want. So here we are, we've got this bit here to do, along this corner which we missed. This is me, my fault, me actually yakking. I think my next task will be, after I get this Lady Deathwing done, I'm not in a hurry for it to be complete, is I think I'm going to do my surge needle for my chromatus. Now, I might have to stream it on the mobile because I need to use a laptop to actually plug in like the the motherboard components for the LED strips, enable to program it. And that's going to be a lot of soldering, a lot of sort of like fettling into the discs. I've already got the items for the plot, but the first thing to do is actually basically mount the LEDs before I even start fabricating like the detailing as per like the concept drawing I've got, the concept art regarding the surge needle. So that's not in centre of camera. I think it is. I had that in the centre of the table. Okay, I did. Oh, right. Now we'll have to actually go and get some more flexi paint filled out. Look. Hi. I could trip over and knock the camel over. So let's get some more gun metal. I've got plenty of it actually. It's funny enough. And this bit here, this is like intensely rough because I did cut it did try to cut it off with a soldering iron because like the hot glue had actually basically like stuck permanently and actually wasn't going anywhere. So I left it rough. You want to get this sort of corruption and sort of like roughness of a black dragon that's actually swallowed half a volcano. That's how I emphasise like lady. Any like deathwing. The mad black dragon has actually swallowed a volcano. That's my interpretation. So once all this gun metal is actually placed on, I can then uh, leave most of it to dry, then put the silver on certain areas by blending it into like into the black gun metal, so it literally really sort of like lights it up a bit more. Yeah. Then luckily the light's good enough and actually see what's basically not been painted and what has. I did have one of my friends help me, and boy was he basically hard work. This is way before I got the craft room actually converted into a proper establishment as it is now. He was bored watching football and he decided to come and disturb me. So I've got a policy here. Anyone who basically crosses the threshold of the craft room, right, I get to put to work. That's mine. That's my interpretation. It might be a bit harsh, but you know, it might be a bit harsh, but you know, I don't want him sort of sitting around drinking my coats and energy drinks, or you know, and just sitting around there and seem to think he knows everything about sort of like foam and cutting and you know crafting. However, if it's like content creators, you know, I know locally, yeah, they're more welcome. And of course, you get these people that basically like uh, commission some to craft a project for them, right? They can't craft themselves, but they want to cosplay because they feel left out. And then what happens is uh, they've realised they've got uh, all of the materials they need, the foam, the paints, and everything like that. So there's nothing sort of stopping to actually going, straight away to actually creating something for, for like, for being paid for. You know, therefore it's like sort of labour. So there's no sort of like, deposit required to to basically go to your cosplay foam suppliers and actually go and start buying EVA foam, rolls of EVA foam, enough to do the project because you've got all of the stuff that's basically like sitting there. So it's literally like sort of just labour, and there's probably like no special paints to do. So you've got all your stocks of paints, right? And you're going to do a good quality. If I did something like this, if I did a commission for somebody, I would actually I would actually do it the same way as I'm doing my own, because some people out there, they seem to think it's like the quickest way to make a quick money. They rush the job and expect to be paid. I would not do that, because he or she would set their heart on like what you've done. You make it for them, and they expect the same sort of quality, build quality, as if it's your own. That's how I'll treat anything. If I made somebody, if I made somebody a project, a build, I would actually do the same as actually what I'm doing now. Take your time. And some people out there that actually do take the rise as well. They do take the rise in the sense of they've got, they treat them like they've got Plana, or they're like the uh, paid the weekly on your sort of like Littlewood catalogue. They don't even see a bloody penny. It's like sort of collect now, pay later. And basically, literally, he or she has actually spent money building this and time, and it's all her own work. He or she, his or her own work, and they are very proud. And then people take the piss, pardon my French, but they take the rise actually not paying the people. When I first started doing this, my old work colleague, right, he's always on the hunt for actually making quick money without having to basically lift a finger. Seriously, this is what he did. When I found out I was actually doing my first costume build, using foam, warble, etc., etc., he wanted to actually step in. He wanted to actually seem to think I'll be making good money. I just don't like people being mugged off, particularly like if you've got like the the well-known armor builders out there, right, who devote their time making stuff and showcasing it at like any like big comic cons, right, and and not and seem to think that the normal person that is a like a good way of actually earning quick money. It's not. It's a lot of time. You don't. I don't think about pound notes in my eyes when I basically do a thing like that. And one of my other friends, he basically is a bit jealous of me actually, because he feels left out. He wanted me to build a cosplay for him. but he wouldn't basically pay for it. Now this guy's earning good money in IT. That's the thing. Can't have it best of both worlds. We're getting there, we're getting there. Now what I'm going to have to do with that bit here, we've got a problem. So on this little, I don't think you can see it actually. On this little sort of hole here, you can just about see it. There's this imperfection there. Now what I'm going to do, I don't like it because yes, yeah, that's my opinion. I've got like this. Now, I'm not being OCD, Travis. You won't see that a mile away. It's like a sort of a paint job on a car. Now, what I've done is I've got some 3000 grit, wet and dry, and I'm just going to. I don't want to use anything abrasive, otherwise it completely rips through the foam. And that's taking most of the flexi paint off just bit by bit, so it's not sort of like scratching it. Okay, so it doesn't matter, it's not going to. That will peel off now, look. There we are. Need to go and get that little bit at the bottom there. Let's just go and dip it in a little bit of water. And just sand that back just a fraction. And leave that to dry and actually ready paint it. It didn't look right, so that's me being fussy again. Now to make it a little bit lighter, we can actually I can actually put a little bit more additional areas of additional layer of flexi paint. And on this bit here, making sure I don't leave paint marks over the dragon's horns, over the crown. Now I think we're done on there. We're just going to leave that to bake itself. And then we're just basically go on to the next stage. Right, so stage 2, silver. I don't think I need to go and get another bottle of this. Right. Just going to get a palette knife because I think it's like getting a bit more gloopy than usual. Okay, so what we're going to do is we've got a lump of it. So I'm going to basically apply quite a lot of water to this because I haven't got much left. But don't panic, I've actually got got some actually got some gunmetal. There we are. Let's just move that down and then move that across to here. Perfect. Right, so what we're going to do is actually take this off. This is the headpiece badge I've actually compiled. And then go and get some bigger brush, mixing brush, and actually mix up. Now, it looks a bit like gunmetal aircraft grey, but I can guarantee it is actually silver. What I'm going to do is actually, where did I leave that bottle? Okay, let's just tighten that up and actually basically put that. I'm just going to like upside down it because there's not much in there. And I will have to go and replenish the stock very, very soon. Right, now for the silver. Now this should pop out, hopefully. We might have to put another layer on it, and I was hoping I just want to do a test on it, particularly around the edges here. I'm just going to be, I'm going to try and work meticulously as I should instead of me yakking all the time, guys. Is literally work your way up. Because obviously, you know, so I want to make sure I get every single area completely covered. I mean, really and truly, I didn't put too much white paint on here. And we have to literally highlight some of these like sort of like engravings I've done with a wood burning tool a little bit more with some black, very sort of like a very mild black, not too strong, so it doesn't sort of, you know, not too wet either, so it doesn't bleed into like sort of like the surrounding areas, and now I've got like a massive big tidying up to do. Now we're going to supplement this with some incandescent bright silver. It's quite nice shine to it actually. Now this will have to be put another coat on it because I have to actually try and get this to dissolve a bit more in some water. Let's just go. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to move the camera over just to here. Move you out the way. Move you out the way, and then just work in this corner. So literally, you've got it's like that there. Come on, come on. Hold on. That's it. You can just about see. I'm working in the corner of the workbench, so you can actually. So I'm not in any camera view. What I'm going to do, I'll just be right back. I need to go to the water tap. Here's for my spray balls. Go to spray. There we go. That's perfect. You get a palette knife. You basically dissolve some of these lumpy bits and hopefully get some sort of liquid before I start pouring out some fresh. My art teacher, when I was doing O-level art, said I'm very good with painting, apparently. I don't know where you got that idea from. That's what he said. There's a lot of people out there who actually wanted to go and do like a foundation course. You know, you had to basically submit a folder. It's like literally, you know, a lot of work. I mean, I've got as far as A level anyway. Okay, it doesn't look much, but the silver reflective paint is very, to be honest, it's very forgiving. It's like a gold paint. Probably said this a few times in previous streams. It's very unforgiving. So when it's dry, you know it's silver. Almost like an aircraft grey or battleship grey. I've got to really soak this in because this has got to really like basically mask up the white. You can see it changing actually. You can actually see the grey actually changing. This bit here, we want to. This bit here, we want to actually keep black. I think I might actually basically infill that in with with some gunmetal, so actually literally high. But you want to keep that sort of dark because it's like that's like a sort of a volcanic burn as such, corruption. Also down here as well, but that's going to like literally ping that with some gunmetal on there, so we get a very nice. We're going to leave that to dry. Let's leave that to soak. Let's go and get a. get a flat brush here. This is the remnants of the actual top of the bottle of the silver. So it's collated. Actually, you basically got it out with the palette knife just to not waste it. Not being tight. It's just that, you know, depending on how much I've actually got to, how much silver I have to use for this, particularly around here and also around all the highlighted bits I want to do, is going to is it going to cover it? That's the only dilemma until I get onto my suppliers and actually order some. I'm just going to do a test here. And I'm just going to brush that in here. And it basically might be better with the want to see what that looks like, you know. And so this bit here. Oh, this is a good way of spending a Saturday. I think because my brain's on lockdown still. You know, okay, it's 5 years since it went, but the thing is, when you lockdown was brilliant. You know, okay, it wasn't for me, people, but you know, you could get a lot of things done. You could get a lot of things done through that lockdown period. You know, okay, we had to queue up to the supermarket. Okay, that was the one sort of thing we had to do, right? People were being turned away at the tube station because had the police there and actually saying, "Oh, you know, what's the purpose of your journey? So you can't travel," and are turned away. However, if you actually were carrying an NHS card, different kettle of fish. So you had to stay at home. And of course, this is when I came. This is when I discovered Just Eat takeaways. I thought, oh great, you know, that's the beauty of it. Beauty of lockdown. Trouble is business. Hello, cat. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We got a visitor here. I like to. Wait. What are you doing? Come on, you. Come on. Yeah. We've got a favourite tabby cat that actually comes round. He loves its greenies and, you know, meow. It starts meowing to you. You know, it's not my cat. I don't know whose cat it is, but it's, he's quite friendly. Don't scratch my Overwatch. Wait, don't sort of wear your claws down on my Overwatch hoodie. God save us. He came in here once, right? And he came in here once. I was working away, and I literally was actually brushing her chin against all like the little like the crutch plates chains on the Lady Deathwing cosplay. So that's what's happened is because of like sort of lockdown, the business chiefs are finding out they've got a problem because nobody wants to go back to work, and I don't blame them. See, when you got a pandemic, right? It's not a pandemic. It's not like business as usual when you basically got a fancy new vaccine. It took nearly to like the beginning of the 18th century for like the Great Plague of London to eradicate itself from, you know, from from the UK. It took that ages. It took X amount of years for like flu to sort of big epidemic. You can't just have a fancy vaccine and think, oh yeah, everything's business as usual. Honest to God. I mean, there's a friend of mine. She's unfortunately got. I mean, her partner's looking after her. She's got long COVID. Right, she's unable to work. I mean, she does work from home, but she's not able to basically go to the office. So she became freelance, right? And then what happened was the DWP wanted her to basically attend a capability assessment. Now she's not even claiming welfare payments. Her partner really upset about it and complained. And of course, the DWP was so apologetic to her and they're so heartless. It's understandable if you're actually on welfare payments, but there's a lot of people who are actually moaning about sort of taxes being paid and are working, and they're saying, the economically inactive people, right, are not working, and they're not well. If they're not claiming benefits, they're not a burden to the welfare system. You see, they're not a burden at all. Maybe they should just live with it because they're earning big, you know, they're actually basically being hit into the 40% tax bracket. Ha 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 ha. My mum, she's 93. She had a tax simple assessment for the tax people, right? And because her pension, but she gets like, I mean, she's very well looked after, sort of pension wise, private pensions and also the state pension. And what happened was they basically had like there was like an underpayment of tax that couldn't go through the PAY system, so I had to basically do an electronic transfer through the HMRC to pay a tax bill. That was way before Christmas. And of course, the annoying bit of the letter was that they're trying to get a 93-year-old lady, right? That's how old she is, to actually go and actually set up a personal tax account online. And she doesn't even know about computers. That's what I'm trying to say. I used to have a personal tax account. I got rid of it. When I closed my tax account, literally my letters still go by email. Do I pick them up? No, because I can't. I closed my personal tax account. That is getting there. I think. I hope it's getting there. That's the thing about. I should have actually done a sort of a smidgen of white, not sort of like that make it solid. That's basically my doing. Honest to God, Andy. When will you learn? Now I did have a problem with this foam clay, right, because it did actually start peeling off here, sort of flaking off like skin. And hopefully this flexi paint can actually literally solidify it a bit. You know, even though I did actually leave that to dry for about what 48 hours. You know, room temperature pending, of course. Right, so this bit here, I don't want to sort of like touch this really and truly because it's still sticky. And it will, because what we have to do is, folks, is further down the line, God, I have to get some more of this as well, we have to use this. This is sealer, gloss sealer, low tack. I will have a bigger bottle, I think, will make me last it. So we'll literally get this uh, get this bought, uh, get this used. Sorry, I'm basically like lost for words there, man. And seal this up. Put about 2 coats on it. Leave it to dry. It's just going to see if I can put that back there. Put that back. Do right. I'll put gaffer tape and uh, brown paper. Oh, I've got this brown paper. It's great for masking up stuff. And let's just go up to the top here. I will do the front first and actually work my way back. So literally basically going to hide every trace of this white sort of base coat. Yeah, it looks a bit grey at the moment, but we'll have to definitely have to put a new coat, second coat on this. So there's a bit there. I can see it naked to my eye. This is highlighted. This is like staring me right in the face, particularly around here. Oh, there's trouble with bloody chromatus. God, that was I mean, those bloody pauldrons on those. These are basically, this is what I've got to do next. Work on that. That's all finished. And boy, did that take a long time. Seriously, that did. I'm just basically glad I got every piece of armour finished on that. It was doing me. It wasn't. It was doing me head in because it was taking ages, and I said to myself, why on earth did I decide to actually do a mega build? Well, I'm just trying to get like the wow factor from any Comic Con, really. I don't milk it. It's brilliant. You know, you basically turn up like sort of like an epic build, and like basically like you hear, wow, my God, that's sick. And you get every even tourists when you're basically walking from your hotel to the tube station or Crossrail, wanting like a photograph. And I do have a go. He goes, well, you got to take permission. You got to ask permission. Even if you're arriving at the Comic Con, you know, got to go through like get your badge. You're walking along. You basically got coming out the DLR, coming out the DLR station, the XL, and you know, you wanted to get you wanted to get your ticket because you got to go and meet your cosplay handler, and then next minute you got people wanting to take photographs, and you basically got you know, half your cosplay. You're wearing all your cosplay, but you've got your props in, you've got your gloves, everything inside the bag. I've just got to double check. I've got every piece of this side DONE, like so. That is sticky. I can feel it. It's actually literally is drying off. Let's just move that water bottle out of the way. Right, so we're going to do the oh sugar. Oh man, is that basically? Oh man, that's going to take ages to bloody conceal. God, bet it's not bloody like a pimple you want to conceal with makeup. There's a nice big black wad of paint on the back of these spikes, but I'm hoping I've nailed it. But actually, literally, let's go and basically tone that down a bit with a bit more gunmetal. Just stare me right in the bloody face there. Oh, great. There we go. Yeah, I'm not. Being honest, I'm not in a hurry to actually go and get Twitch affiliation. I'm the steps away from it. It's it's enjoyable to do this. Okay, I don't stream as much as I want to. You know, I'm definitely going to stream tonight. You know, after me lunch, after me dinner. Tom Clancy do a bit more. I don't mind streaming PUBG, but the thing is, it's the pickup, it's the grouping that's it really annoys me. You know, if you're like a really high level, you know, you're literally be right back, guys. I need to go and get a drink. So I have for dinner tonight. That's the question that's basically going to be on my brain. I don't know. Guys, now where are we? So I'll look at my Instagrams. Yeah. Right, now we're back. Okay, we must probably put some more silver paint on here. I'll have to do this. I'm just going to move this camera here so you can actually see where we're going here with this, guys. Come on, come on, come on. Are you moving or what? Oh, perfect. Yeah, just going to see. We've got this bit all the way around the back here that needs to be filled in. Yeah, that's quite impressive actually. I'm quite happy with that so far. You know, even though the mistake I did made is actually put too much bloody white paint on these on the preparation, because the reason why I put the white on it is actually make the silver to stand out. It is getting there. It's definitely getting there. You know, and some of these bits, particularly around here, we'll highlight with the bright silver. So it's also a white sharpie. Now these bits here, now we are to basically going to get a bigger brush for that. We are going to need a bigger brush. Okay, let's just put that another blodging of silver and go and get a bigger brush this time. I'm just going to leave that to really and truly rest that on there so it's not too literally contaminating like the gun metal I've got there. Right, so we've got a bigger brush this time. This time try not to leave any paint splatters around here, particularly around this side. Let's just go and move that camera a bit. Camera's not showing its yet. Okay, so that camera's okay. It's the other one that's painted. There we are. Down a bit, down a bit, down a bit, down a bit. Why is this down slow? We'll have to definitely go and check the firmware on this one. Because that's at full zoom. There we are. So that's really now in your face. You can see me there and all. So this, and then I can actually literally move this in just a fraction. We are actually full zoom on this. We're definitely going to leave this to dry. We're going to put a crap ton of foam, not what am I saying, foam, silver paint on here, and actually literally camouflage this white that we've actually put all over here. And we have to make sure we don't. Just going to move this around to here, move that just a fraction back. That's basically literally is doing it. It is doing it, Andy. It is doing it. Now around here as well. I'm not basically going to be slapping it on like it's like a poly filler. I'll make sure I don't leave any splatters on any other pieces I've painted already, otherwise I've got a bloody cleaning up job done, and I don't particularly want that to happen. And any bits we need to actually cut this, actually put that in there so you've got a bit more silver in there. Okay, so that one's bit done. That one's done. Right, this bit down in this corner here. I'm just going to get a smaller brush. Just along this edge here. Because if we haven't sort of primed the foam, you know, by heating it or putting like sort of a dedicated foam sealer, the paint is just going to literally soak through, and you basically like end up, you know, it become like, you know, you can see it soaking. You can see it. It looks patchy. So this edge here, that's better. It's getting there. I'll make sure I don't leave any sort of nasty paint drips either. Just leave that, just take that off, excess off there so we don't. Now, I could have actually spray painted this. I've got some distilled water, but it's going to be a lot of masking up. And I don't particularly want to be doing it in here. I'll have to actually do it outside. That means actually having uh, one camera active outside while I'm doing it. Let's just move you back a bit so you can actually see. Okay, so there's a little bit of a paint collecting there, which I don't think I want. It's just basically brush that out so that you smooth it off a bit. There we are. Perfect. Yeah, just going to look at the behind it. So this bit, oops, oh, God. Put the brush there. So that's that into there for washing it, and it's just going to get a flat brush, a little bit of water. So where we got this bit here, we can actually get this also done. And also along that edge there. Spin this around till we get to this bit here. This is where it's going to be. This is where it's steady. This is where you've got steady hand. Along here and here. There we are. Let's see if this is basically see what it looks like on these braidy things I've compiled. A little bit over there. Perfect. I think we're done on there. I think we have to definitely have to put a new coat, single coat on this. Let's see. I'm hoping I've still got. Hopefully I have. There's an eye. There we go. I've got flat brushes. Let's go and get another flat brush. This time this is a brand new flat brush here. It's just basically something built itself up. Didn't want it to happen. I will double check that firmware. Why the hell is this going fast? This gimbal's going. This camera's driving me nuts. The reason being is it's so damn slow. Stay there. Once I go offline, I'll double check the firmware if it's been. Right, so now we go down a bit more. So leave that for now. Leave that to dry at the front. It's going to, well, I've actually sanded off the foam here. Going to get a little bit more on this side. I will have to go back and actually double check every surface has been painted, so that's not been painted there. I can see the black foam exposed. Those ones I'll do later. Right, perfect. Leave that to dry. Go and get a chair. Then basically sit down and oops, sorry, that's basically literally it's not good. It's just basically not the camera. No, stay. Let's go get a tiny brush. See if it opens the brush. That's not making it. You've got some here. There's a sable brush. Just going to mix up like the silver I got there. Now where we got these here, guys. Let's start painting. I think I'll start from the top. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start from the top because I don't particularly want to be starting from the bottom and actually basically leaving sticky marks, fingerprints in wet paint here, as I emphasised before. This mannequin head I got from Amazon. Mind you, I can't stick you know, sewing pins into it because it's tough as old boots to actually pull that off. Because I don't know what material it's made from. I hope it's not. If it's polystyrene, it should be okay. It's probably because there's like the cover on it. That's tough. It's like a sort of a hessian. Going to get some decorators paper. So I wouldn't want to pin those two securing elastic, which has got the runes on them back, so they don't get wet. Where the hell's my masking tape? Got some fresh gloves on here as well. Whoops. I'm just going to stick this back here and there. That's totally out of the way. I'm going to hit the stuff on painting. we have to do that later. Just make sure it's not twisted either. Is it twisted? No, it's not. Let's have a look. No, it's not twisted. Let's put that down there. So it's out of the way. Perfect. Just reset the camera and actually basically start it, reboot it, and then hopefully be back to its normal self, because like the default seems like they're basically putting on some pictures here. Ah, Michael. Whoops, delete. I'll be back a bit, so I don't keep looking over it. Okay. Gimbal speed. Why the gimbal speed on? Gimbal speed is, so that's the gimbal speed. It should be fast. Space literally console image. That's okay, console. Okay, so I'm not going to do that, because what will happen is it will literally more. That's sleep. Output, that's okay. That's virtual camera. Image, more. Well, that would test something, guys. Oh, that's better. That's more like it. It's a little bit speedier. I don't know what's happening. But the gimbal's basically still coarse. Let's try coarse. That's fine gimbal speed. That's better. That's more like it. Done it. So it was on coarse. It was on fine speed, not coarse. But it's like literally taken ages to actually zoom in and zoom out. There we go. I've nailed it. He says. Right, so crack on. I've got to find the. Oh, so let's go back to these. Just put a little bit of water onto the paint. And then I can actually go back and paint all these. Let's just see where we are with this. So there. Unless I basically did not actually put the, because this is like quite quite sort of low density EVA foam. This is only what, I think about 3 mil? 2 mil? Pardon me. Oh my god, everything's going clipped up. Oh my French. I want to make sure that stays there and maybe doesn't ping off. Oh, right, so you stay there, you piece of do I have to take gaffer tape to you? Yeah, gaffer tape. Right. Lucky gaffer tape's okay, but if you basically put it on the painted surface, it will actually take off the paint. And you know what will happen, you'll be back to square one. Whereas my cosplay handler says, right, you know, I've got some gaffer tape. But don't forget, he works for an events company, and he swears by it. I use it for like, basically, you know, the electricians use it at work for actually tying down, you know, load of cables so they don't trip over them. Now, this bit I'm going to start up here. Oh, for crying out loud. Jesus Christ. Fuck up. Okay, let's just see where we go with this. This is probably. I'm going to move that out of the way. That's better. Done. That's better. That's much better. Now, what we did was here on these Brady things. That's basically like hanging down behind, you know, so literally basically, because there's no wig involved. We've actually put them in. We've actually basically put in runic writing. We typed out the name in my rune app, and we actually basically like spelled out Lady Deathwing in runes, so you can actually see them there. Some of them went a bit sort of wrong, but I'm hoping that this will basically literally work. We're just putting some smattering of silver on some of these pieces. So literally we actually have a nice glossy shine. I've been watching. I've been watching. I've been watching all the way through a film from Mexico called Queen of the South. It's quite interesting. Quite a good film actually. Quite a good series. There's another one called Miss Adrenaline from Colombia. And last week I was watching a thing called Toxic Town about, you know, what happened in Corby because they actually cleaned up the land the old steelworks on. Because like the land was actually contaminated. It's a true story actually. Some good stuff on Netflix. Mind you, I don't even watch live television anymore. This is what happened. The BBC are actually losing like viewers, you know, because of like their license fee, right? Whereas like Netflix, you're paying, you know, such and such amount per month to actually watch what you want without having to actually. Now I'm going to start this one here because the reason being I haven't done the bottom because I want to keep this steady when I'm painting it, and there's no point in me painting like the edge and actually, you know, all the paint coming off of me gloves. Just go and get a thinner, go and get a flat brush. Let's have a look. Okay. I've got a flat brush now. Okay, and then just hold this steady and actually dab all of like I can actually see more of the I can actually see more of the more of like the grey of the black foam underneath like the base of the silver sorry of the white. Sorry, I'm basically trying to get me words in, man. In here, and literally it basically gives me a godsend on it. There we are, perfect. More brush time because I've got like a full area. I don't want to overpaint too much. Okay, well, yeah. Just put that brush back in there to soak so it doesn't dry out. So we've got a small brush, and where you've got a little D here, and just all the way round that corner. It looks a bit, it's not patchy, but once it's dry, it will actually look stunning, we hope. Mark my words, this will basically look great. You just got to let this flexi paint to dry a bit more to actually go and get full effect. So there's a little bit of black there that we want to fill that in so we actually get these runes to actually look like, you know, because they've been carved out with a wood burning tool, you see. Now we could have actually made these attachments mobile and actually maybe put some clips on them if we wanted to. But these are now part of the headpiece. Right, I'm just going to finish this bit here, then basically going to the last bit I'm going to do before I actually wrap it up tonight, because I'm actually getting hungry, is the little badge with Velcro on it, which I will have to move all this back to that side to leave it to dry, so it's not going to maybe be knocked over. Provided the cat doesn't come in and actually start knocking stuff over, which sometimes happens. Yeah, it looks like grey on there, but once oh shit, I've just put some stuff in the bloody white, haven't you, Wally? Just put some silver down down there. I don't want to do that. Hell, maybe I can brush it out and it literally basically disappears. There we are. That should do it. That should base it, but that won't look like be emphasised with the white paint because it's black. It's basically been painted on black. Oh god. Right, let's just move this out the way to this side. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll go and get this baby. Now this badge here, and just going to paint this next. So luckily we've got some blue tack on the corner on there, that's handy. So let's just basically stick that to this here, because we don't want it don't want to be holding it. And then go and get a smaller brush again. I'm just going to basically highlight this with a bit of H2O. A little bit up. A little bit down. Well, stay. Let's just basically. Sorry, I'm just trying to do an angle of how this kind of figure will work with the angle without having to basically stop everything. Actually, going to use like the remote. Okay, so. Okay, so we leave it there. So what we're going to do, I'll definitely have to go over to the going over to like the control. Leave that right. I'll leave that put that over there. So here we are. Wrapping this bit of silver, and then leave that to dry, and then we're basically a wrap, guys. There we go. That's done. So that's the badge painted silver. So that's basically says LDW, Lady Deathwing, with a bit of corruption at the bottom. So that's done. We are going to have to basically log off now, I'm afraid, folks, because I need to get some food. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good evening. And I'll be on later after some grub and some Tom Clancy's Division back on Liberty City. Sorry, Liberty Island. So cheers for that, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye.